Now, needles are very key to your embroidery success. Now, of course, if you get started and you start breaking threads, guess what? First thing I change is the needle because it's probably been a while. Usually I tend to run them a little bit longer than when I'm sewing, but that's just me because if it's working, I tend to go, okay, everything's good. But as soon as you start seeing any loops on the top of your fabric, maybe designs not turning out as perfect, now that might be stabilizer, but I always know that after a while, a needle point is going to get a little dull. It could get a little burr on it, and so every time it's coming up, it's going to pull on that fabric and kind of offset things. So that's definitely one thing that you want to keep in mind. New project, different weight of fabric. Let's go ahead and put that new needle in right away. So one thing that I have here, I've got some embroidery needles. Embroidery needles usually have a bigger eye to them. The embroidery thread runs smoother through a larger eye. They also have a sharper point. So that means you're using those with a woven fabric, cottons, terry cloth, satins, those types of things. Those are all things that need a sharp point as we do our embroidery. Now, knit fabric, totally different. Anything with a stretch, you don't want that sharp needle to be cutting all that knit fabric. Guess what happens? It actually perforates the fabric away from the item and you have a hole in your shirt or something. You must use a ballpoint needle. A ballpoint needle is going to help kind of ooze between the fibers and not cut them every time it takes a stitch. So don't forget to switch to a ballpoint needle when you're actually embroidering on knit fabrics, knits, t-shirts, sweatshirts, that type of thing. Usually fleece is the one people kind of always ask. You can kind of use either one. You really want to use a universal needle when you sew fleece because it really doesn't matter. So whichever one you have, you're probably good on. Denim. I do switch to a denim needle. I've done a couple denim projects that when I actually, and I was going through some of the thick layers, I was crossing over some of those denim flat-felled seams, and that denim needle really made a difference. Yes, they're sharp, but they're also a little beefier, and so I got a better result. So for me, denim needles stay close to my embroidery machine as well. Metallic thread and metallic needles. They go hand in hand. A metallic needle eye is even bigger yet, and that helps cut down the friction of that metal thread going through the eye of the needle. I've been known to slow down my machine if you are having any breakage. Also a thread stand. A stand that sits next to your machine allows the metallic thread to kind of relax and get untwisted after being on that spool for so many months or years, and then have time before it goes over to the first guide of your embroidery machine. But when it comes to needles, you need to have an embroidery needle in. If you find yourself still breaking threads and you've done everything that you've been told to do, try a different brand of metallic thread. A lot of times there are some metallic threads that I have not always had success with, and I have had some that do. So find the one that works for you. Don't blame your machine until you've tried a couple different kinds. Another thing that you'll see out on the market is embroidery or titanium needles. Titanium needles will be coated gold. So it's at a glance when you look at your needle and you see a gold needle, you'll know which one you have in there. Titanium coated means that it's going to stay sharper longer, and as long as you honestly don't catch your hoop on that needle when you're going in and out, if you ever hear that little dink and you're like, oh, that was the tip of the needle that I just scratched on that rough surface, that's when you want to be careful. But they will last longer. So definitely find the one that works for you. Most of your embroidery needles, whether the titanium coated ones or the regular ones, are going to be in a size 75-11 or a 90-14. 90-14s are going to be bigger, so your heavier fabrics, flannels or canvases. But then most of the time, 75-11s will definitely work with all your lighter weight fabrics. If you are doing something a little bit finer, you remember your embroidery thread is a 40 weight thread. Yes, it is thinner and you can go a little bit smaller, but you got to remember that groove that's on the front of the needle, that thread lays in that groove. So if you get the needle too small and the thread's too big, you're going to have other issues to deal with. So make sure you keep that balance between needle, fabric, and thread all working together.